Hello, my people. How are you today? Or should I say, how you not day? I'm doing good. I'm good. And I'm happy to be here. As always, it's always a very, very good time on this platform. And my name is Toluwalope Toluwase. I'm sure you've mastered that. For our newcomers, that's my name, Toluwalope Toluwase. And it is the gospel truth, shaking tables, using the scriptures. And as always, I have my wonderful co-host here with me, always smiling. Hi, Christabel. How are you?
Hi, guys.
All right, good to have you here as always. Thank you so much. Okay, if you haven't watched the last episode, that last episode was what? Hot.
A table shaker.
A real table shaker.
A table breaker.
Yes, so it's
like you broke the tables.
Scattered the whole table, So if you've not watched it, please, you are missing.
Yeah.
Please, just hurry on to our YouTube channel to watch it. And today's zone, okay. Let me not bust the bubble yet. Let me just leave you to experience it, to understand what I am saying. So moving on, I want to before I invite, let me introduce a very wonderful, amazing, beautiful guest. Let me just give you a backstory. I'm meeting her for the first time, and we've known each other on WhatsApp for more than 4 years now.
Wow.
And so it's almost as if we've always been seeing each other. So seeing each other today, is a good feeling for me. And experiencing what we experience on WhatsApp physically today, you are going to enjoy a very great time. So she's an author. She's a business analyst. She's an inspirational speaker. She's a teacher. Yes. She's a coach, a global coach. When I say global, not local one, no. Global coach. And when we are talking about this kind of coaching that deals with counseling, couples, both single, the intending couples, married couples. And there's one particular strength that I know that I have experienced. She has that gift to empower and encourage couples on their sexual relationship in their marriages. And when you hear her speak on these things, you'll be like, mama. So I can confirm that one. I can testify to that one. She's happily married to a wonderful man and blessed with 2 children. And she's the co-founder of Convenia. I hope I got that.
You did. You did.
Yeah, so she's the co-founder of Convenia Ministry platform. She has multiple expressions where real couples come in place. And I get to, benefit from the Real Couples Forum. It has been a blessing over the years,
awesome.
And we thank God for the blessing she has been with her husband. She co-founded the ministry with her husband. So I'm happy. We are together. All right. So let me not just say too much. I've said a lot already, but let me just not say much more. Please join me to invite Mrs. Ibitayo Ladokun. I know her as Ibitee. Please join me to invite our wonderful guest. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
It's
really
my pleasure.
Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
It's a great honor to have you here. And I'm sure that you'll be a blessing to us on this platform as well.
I trust God.
Okay, so now to our topic. This is a very, 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 very major topic that we need to discuss in this time and era that we are in. So before I do my introduction, we are going to be discussing on maintaining sexual purity, outside of marriage or outside marriage. And so we are going to be majorly narrowing it down to our singles, because sexual purity now looks like it's something that is getting outdated. It's almost like, is there anything like that? I don't even know if the generation that are coming up now even know if there's anything like that, because it's the way the way sex is even being portrayed now. Is being portrayed as a regular thing.
Like it's a normal thing
It's
now.
just a casual thing.
Yeah.
It's just do it and move on. It's not
Nothing serious.
It's nothing serious, no big deal. Whereas that is not the purpose for which God created it.
It's true.
Yeah. So I don't know. I want you to help us. For those that don't know,
Let them know.
let them know. For those that know, but they are beginning to, see that it doesn't make sense. It's not worth it. Help us to remind them to have another understanding or a better understanding of it, of what sexual purity is. And as believers, how we should align to our values, to our beliefs as a believer.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
it's a pleasure. It's always nice to meet you.
Same here.
I'm glad to be seeing you physically for the first time. Christabel, thank you. Good job you're doing here.
Thank you so much, Ma.
All right. To our discussion. It's this discussion is very, very important. And I'm glad that you're having, you decided to take this discussion because we don't hear it as often as we should be hearing it. We don't hear it. It's not out there as often as it should be. Rather, what we see more often is the music videos where, girls are shaking it,
Yes, almost naked.
And the boys are puffing it,
And they sing about it.
Exactly. And so it kind of tells us that there's a lot of programming, going on. Faith comes by hearing.
Yeah.
Hearing by the word. Yeah. Everything comes by hearing. So you're a product of what you hear, what you see, what you read, everything that you're exposed to. Yeah. You're a product of that. So I am who I am today. You are who you are today because of some form of programming.
Yeah.
Okay? Your exposure, the things you decide to hear, the things you decide to watch, the movies and all that you the school you've gone, your family, It's a collection of many things, and that's why if we don't have these discussions as often as we should, people will forget. Even those who knew, okay, you will get to a point that you would feel like, oh, well, especially if you start finding yourself in environments where it doesn't really matter. Yeah. That's the truth. So for everyone listening, you're in a good place, hanging with us, okay, throughout this conversation. Why did I say this discussion is important? I remember a friend sharing with me, how her boyfriend got into a new workplace and someone who didn't used to drink, but because they would have Friday nights and all that, he found himself gradually beginning to drink, beginning to, mix up and do other stuff. So having this conversation as often as possible. I'll give you an example. When I was single, one of the things, maybe this would help someone right away. Yes. One of the things that helped me was that I had a book by anytime my brain wants to touch. And that's why the Bible says that you work out your salvation with fear and trembling. You work it out. It's a constant, you're going to work, you go to work every day. Do you understand? You go to work every day. You don't say, oh, today I'm going to work. Oh, tomorrow I'm not going to work. Even if you are working remotely, you are still working. Do you understand? So it's daily practice. It's an everyday thing. So I remember anytime my brain wants to, maybe I see that it's like this body wants to take over. You understand?
The flesh wants to take over.
Because we're flesh. You have blood running through your veins. Yeah. That's the truth. And that's the way God designed it. God designed that we will be sexual beings. Yes. And we are sexual beings. So you look at even a kid, a little boy. There's a way the body is structured. Even little boys have erection.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes. And they will tell you, sometimes they will say, oh, my penis tickles.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's a design. It's a design that God did from the beginning. And we cannot run away from it. But how to manage it is what I believe that we will discuss in the course of this conversation. So I was telling you, one thing I did was to have a particular book handy. And it was Pastor Bimbo Dukoya's book one of those days. I'm telling you, that book, you know, I can't even remember the title of the book. Apart from reading How to Find a Life Partner, she had another book on sex. Though there were some parts of
sex, dating, and
is possible,
and relationships. I think
is possible. And so I had that book handy. Anytime, I will hope there were particular, chapters
Pages,
for different things. So if I know that this is the problem I'm having at the moment, I will go to the chapter that refers. I'm telling you. Why? Because your mind is powerful.
Yes.
Everything that you see on this earth, this microphone we're using, is the product of someone's mind.
Yes.
So we must understand that our minds are your mind is very powerful. But if you can gain mastery of your mind,
you can overcome.
You can decide what your body does. Yes. That's the truth. So what would I do? I would open that book. I will read. What was I doing? I was renewing my mind.
With the word, with something
renewing my mind in the direction of where I wanted it to open. Exactly.
You didn't decide to go and watch a porn video.
Something that
you don't even need to watch.
You don't want to watch.
No, you can watch you can even watch a regular movie that you will find certain scenes.
Or those novels, or those days, Mills and Boons.
What I
when
say?
You read that,
it will help you. Will help
that will help the feelings at that point in time.
To Bera.
Oh no.
So let's pause it. Let's pause it there. So. This first session, these few things we said now is about the fact that this conversation is important to help someone to renew their minds, because the mind, T.D. Jakes will say, the mind is the battleground. Is a battleground.
Yeah,
battleground for everything.
Everything.
Your success in life, raising your children.
Marrying the right partner.
Your mind is where all the wars, everything is happening. You're going to have sex, you're not going to have sex, as a single person. It's all happening in the mind.
Yeah.
So if you can understand that whatever goes on in your mind has the power to control your life, has the power to decide what your body does. This body is just flesh now. It's what's going on in the mind that dictates.
That we see outside.
Yes, it dictates to the brain. Okay, go ahead. Once that emotion has taken control of the mind, is over. The next thing is the action.
And the Bible even expects us to have control.
Yes.
Because the Bible says that the will of God is for us to, stay away from sexual immorality.
Absolutely.
And we are the ones that should take control of how we want to make use of our body.
Not the body controlling
us.
Not
the body controlling us. But it still depends. That can happen if you continue to renew your mind.
That's it.
With the word of God. With the right things. You can renew your mind with different things.
That's it.
But
and there are things that will make your flesh gain more power over your spirit man.
Over your spirit man, yeah. So, okay, that's good. So, Christabel,
So, how would you now define sexual purity?
Okay.
Because from what you said now, this generation, it's not being talked about more often. So people don't really, youths or teenagers or people coming up don't really know what sexual purity even is. So how would you define sexual purity?
Okay. Sexual purity is a combination of two words, as we can see. So it's being pure sexually. Okay? Being pure sexually. And being pure sexually has to do with not... so some people will say, I'm sexually pure, but they are kissing, they are smooching, they are They've done every other thing.
Aside from the real
Do
thing.
you understand? Apart from sexual intercourse. So, sexual purity is all about, it's the whole. It's not, sexual purity is not just sexual abstaining from sex. You understand? As a single person. No, sexual purity is also the purity of your mind. Because like I said, everything that happens physically first takes place in the mind. This microphone, before they went to the factory, somebody sat down, thought about it, okay? Designed it. What would it look like, and everything. Did a drawing for them, passed it on to the right quarters. They went into the factory and, produced it. So everything. So if you're going to go for sexual purity, which is the plan of God for every of his children, okay? It's the plan of God. God designed us. And he designed. Why is it that people must have sex before they have babies? Naturally, okay? So because there are other ways of, women conceiving now, okay?
Yes.
But the first, primary, natural way is that a man and a woman
they know each other.
Yes,
like
they
the
would.
Bible says.
Yes, they will know each other intimately and then have sex, and then there will be a conception. He tells you, and God says, be fruitful and multiply. If you think about it, God is interested in our sexual lives. However, he has rules guiding it. Because of so many reasons. And we will share some of those reasons here today.
Okay.
God has very good intentions when it comes to the sex lives of all his children. In fact, of all humanity. Because, Tolu, Christabel, if people were not, if it wasn't designed that people would have sex to conceive babies, okay? If it wasn't that we all know, you will know, that there are some couples you will feel like, these people, they don't do anything like that at all. To show you that God is interested in the sexual lives of his children. He's interested in that activity called sex for his children. He ensured that babies, children, the greatest value, because the human is the greatest value on earth. Is the most the human being is the most important person. Is the most important thing to God on earth.
Because it took
decided from his own image.
All the world was creating before. They just said God created this. But when it came to man, he said,
his own
let
image.
us make man.
Yes.
So he's interested, and then he ensured that entity that I'm very much interested in going forward, husband and wife, you will have sex. And sex is good.
Yeah.
Sex is sweet.
Yes.
Do you get? Am I right?
Yeah, yes, you're right.
And God ensured that process will bring about amazing children. Godly seeds. He called them.
Godly seeds, yeah.
You understand? So, godly sex, okay, which is in the confines of marriage. Is the intention of God.
Okay, so now we've established the fact that this is a discussion people we don't hear as we should hear anymore in this time and era, because I remember our times there were different sexual
rishi left right
it was the order of the day with different books. And I'm not even sure if there are even books now
that support it.
Yeah, books that we see are financial.
I'm bringing out a book soon.
Okay.
I'm happy to announce.
Okay, great. That's great. So can you hear that?
And
we're waiting.
It's majorly for young people. Because I believe that we need to catch them young.
Yes.
The 11-year-old, the 13-year-old.
We don't even need to wait till they finish university anymore now. When they start looking for
the book
life
is
partner.
majorly for secondary school pupils.
Okay.
And it delves into what you call adolescent reproductive health. Okay, because I'm sure we'll talk about it. How sex affects you, whether emotionally, affects your physical health, as a young person or even as a married person. So, but your status determines what part of the bargain that you get.
Yeah.
If you're single, there's something it does to you. If you're married, there's something it does to you. You know, so I believe that there are a few books here and there, but they are not as,
not
like
we
before.
only have books on financial deals, prosperity deals,
just normal
success deals,
fictions.
how to go to climb the ladder of success.
Everything is just money.
Everything is just money. Everybody wants to make money. There are really no books that talks about things that, really should address the very important things.
Yeah.
What is money? Money will come. Just be diligent. You will make it. You will find money.
True.
But when we come to things like this, so it's difficult now for people that are in relationships now to set the boundaries, because the lady or the guy wants to keep the partner, and so they subdue to the requests or the demands of the other person. So how do we think that they can set these boundaries and still be able to manage a lasting relationship? How do they set these boundaries? How do they leverage on it, to help them to build a fulfilling marriage eventually if they get married?
So the first thing is to understand that two cannot work together except they agree. It's a scripture, that will forever be true. Two people must agree for their relationship to work. And so that agreement comes from a place of values. So if your value as a person, as a child of God, for example, is that you want to be sexually pure. Okay? Sexual purity is one of your values. Just as maybe hard work is important. So values are things that are important to us. Our belief system.
Yeah.
Okay? So hard work is important to you. Hard work, just like diligence, honesty.
Yeah,
okay,
honesty.
You don't want to hang out with someone who tells lies.
Yeah.
Is that Oshodi is telling you that he's at Arepo, So things like that. So values is the key thing. If you're hanging out with someone you really love, you really like, but the person wants to have sex, it means that you're going to be having conflicts from time to time. If the issue is that, okay, you really like this person and you know that you really want to spend your life with them, you need to have what we call difficult conversation. It can be a very difficult conversation. Okay, so have the difficult conversation. Discuss with them. This is why I don't want to have sex before marriage. Okay? And for every true believer, every true believer should understand. That's why I said we should teach it more. Okay? People are a product of what they hear, whether from the pulpit, on social media, everywhere. So we should teach it more and let people understand why they need to be sexually pure. And it's in scripture. So a child of God is designed, as you have come into the fold, your duty is to align with God's word.
Yes.
It's to align with God's word. That's when you can get all the benefits.
Yeah.
That's when you can get all the benefits.
About one leg in, one leg out.
No. So I encourage everyone, when you get in fully. Yeah. Don't say a part of me is here, but one part is
still here.
No. When you get it, you will enjoy the full benefits of what this kingdom has to offer. For this is the will of God. And as a child of God, your duty is to what? To do the will of God.
Yes.
Your sanctification categorically stated that you should abstain from sexual immoralities. So if you're a believer, you have given your life, this is the standard. This is the standard. Yes, this is the standard. So if your partner wants to do, but you have chosen, then you need to check, is this your partner truly born again, as he or she claims to be?
Because when there's that conflict here and there, eventually you that don't want to do it will be the one that will confront.
I think that's why before you even get into a relationship with somebody, you need to state it. You need to say it. You need to discuss it from the beginning. Because if you enter like that, you definitely
enter based on feelings.
There are feelings involved and everything. You definitely.
But there are people that find themselves in those shoes. You can't take it out. Okay, so there are situations where this is the standard.
Yeah,
where both of you talk about it. You talk about almost everything. You say what is important to you before you get into the relationship. Okay. What if the guy, it's okay, and then you say, me too, I don't want to do, I'm not interested in that, and then you get into the relationship, and he's not saying that, but every time he wants to touch you, every time he wants to kiss you, every time he's inviting you over to come and spend the night. Do you understand? So before relationship, he said he wasn't doing it, but getting into the relationship, and people's flesh also dictates to them the things. There are people that they may say, I don't want to. But they get into the relationship, they are exposed, like the guy I told you, for example, he started hanging out late nights, hanging out with friends and all. Somewhere along the line, you will find yourself, trying to arrange and blend in and all that. So there are people who find themselves in such situations. How do they manage it? It's to have a frank conversation. Because don't let somebody lead you to hell. That's the truth. Don't let somebody lead you. If they carry me go where I don't know. Like you don't carry you go where I don't know. So that is very, very important. Did we touch everything in this? The question you
boundaries.
Yes. What boundaries?
Setting boundaries. Okay. How can they set those boundaries to their potential partners? You said I don't want sex. Some men, you tell them that you don't want, they'll tell you it's okay. Some, it's not because they actually agree with you. It's because of two things. Number one, they are probably looking for somebody that's already has the experience when it comes to sex, right? And two, they might just say, well, that's okay, that's fine. I'll just be finding
pleasure somewhere
else. As long as that's what is going to make you happy, So how do they, And
that's dangerous.
Very dangerous.
That's very dangerous. So what I always tell people is this. You cannot dissociate your life as a single from what's going to happen in your marriage. Okay?
Yeah.
As it concerns sex or as it concerns every other thing. So as a single person, if you're having sex or you have multiple partners, okay? Or like the case of this person you mentioned now, has a girlfriend, stable, they are connected, but he's chopping life outside. My sister, there is no doubt
fire on the mountain.
Oh my God, that this particular person will get married and he cannot sit with only okros.
No, he can't do.
Do you understand? Right. You say, this is my wife at home.
Yes.
You understand? But outside,
all over the place.
Delivering. It could be one person per time. Some even go to prostitutes now.
Yeah.
We don't even call them runs girls. And right now, it has even become easier. Anybody that wants to do, they are there for you.
Yes.
They're there for you.
Even if you don't want to do, some are even the ones coming,
and they have a community.
Wow.
Oh, they have you don't know.
They do.
They have a community. Yes, they know one another. Okay, and they do adverts. If you have their WhatsApp line, they will do adverts for you on WhatsApp status. Okay, if you have the number of a babe who is into that kind of thing, they display on WhatsApp status.
Because of the kind of people they have.
They display on WhatsApp status, and if you're interested,
you just DM.
There are apps too. There are apps that help. You call it hookup. There are apps that help you to find partners for hookup. You understand? Yes. Tinder. You think Tinder? Sorry. No mention. You think that app is only for hooking up, for having a relationship? No. Many of those apps are for hookups. Many dating apps are for hookups. That's the truth. Okay, so if somebody wants to do, there are opportunities for them to do right now. Just like when we were growing up, and if you wanted to watch porn, you will go and find video cassettes, right? You look for video cassette. You will keep it because you cannot watch porn where everybody is now.
Yes, now.
So when there's nobody in the house, those of us that were born in the 80s and even 90s, you will then take the video cassette, quickly slot it. You watch the 15 minutes while you are monitoring the gate and monitoring the door and doing all manner of monitoring. But when you finish, you quickly remove it and go and keep it. Do you understand? But now you don't need to do that for anybody who is in. So there are opportunities for you to express everything that your flesh wants to do in this age. And that should also tell you that every child of God, you must be on guard.
Yes, always
because there are opportunities. Satan is working hard.
Put on the whole armor.
Do you understand? Satan is working hard, ensuring that if you want this, I have it for you. Take. If you want it, it's available.
And he's looking for those loopholes that you will just slot it in.
So our encouragement as children of God, to our fellow children of God, is that the guy is not sleeping. You are the one. Up your game. Yes, up your game. As a child of God, don't let anybody cobalize you. He wants to do or she wants to do, but you know that this is your own destiny. This is the direction you know that God is taking you. What do? That's it. The Bible is clear.
Said flee from all appearance. Every it didn't say resist. If you are resisting, you will bend.
One day.
Flee from every appearance. Flee from, flee from sexual immorality.
Yeah.
That's it.
Especially the fact that it's even a sin against your own body. It's not even a sin against anybody. It's against your own body. That's why some people say that those people that used to have multiple partners, and all of that. There's one spirit. You are just soul time. I think Pastor people used to talk about that very, very much. They say soul time. You pick from this one. You pick one spirit from this one. When you have another one, you pick another spirit from this one. You pick another spirit from
and
this
let me say that, the Bible is so clear about it. It says that each of you should know how to possess. We're talking about the mind the other time. How to possess his own vessel. So it is your duty to possess your own vessel, to take control of what happens in your body in sanctification and honor, not in passion of lust, like the Gentiles who do not know God. So there should be a difference between you that know God.
It shouldn't be found amongst us.
And the person who does not know God. However, there is a difference when someone has been sexually, because when a person is exposed to sex, I know that God designed sex for marriage because he knows what is possible when you start having sex. You understand? Sex is very pleasurable. Sex is very pleasurable.
Yes, it is. Yes.
So when you enjoy the pleasure of sex, what that does to your mind is you want to relieve that pleasure again. And that's why the design is that you be in a relationship with someone, a relationship that has been consummated. It's a marriage. It's a contract. So sex should happen within those confines, so that both of you, and it's designed, it's supposed to be a special experience. It's supposed to be a special experience, between those two people alone. Relieve, learn together, grow together. Do you understand?
Yes.
So why I believe that God designed sex for marriage is that he knows that the moment you taste it, it's like the forbidden fruit. The moment you taste it and it becomes sweet, or it's getting sweet,
you want to keep,
just like you eat. And every time you eat a particular food, you really enjoy it. There are some days you just sit down and be like, Is that fried
food?
rice?
Yes.
That fried rice from
That's what I want.
or that amala from Kiniko.
Yeah.
That's what I want to eat. Gong. And sometimes you can go sometimes I can go the extra mile and say, that food.
That's what I must eat
That's what you
today.
must do.
You understand? Why? Because there was possibly a happy hormone that was released when you ate that food.
Yes.
And it
so
gave you that
want-
satisfaction. It's the same thing with sex.
The same
So
thing.
every addiction, okay, that's how it works. Even the use of our phones. Sometimes you sit down and you're pressing.
Pressing. 1 hour, you're still on it. 2 hours, you're still
So
there.
that's it. So sex is addictive. So the moment you start, okay, sometimes some people cannot stop.
So it's best you don't start.
Yes, it's best you don't start and keep it till marriage. However, another discussion is how do people then stop if they've been having, maybe we can have that conversation another time. But let's get through with our...
Okay, so now it's important because we talked about how to manage it to your potential partners. Now, there are some people that they don't want to do it. But there are some forces around them. Maybe family. You know, there are some families that they want the lady to be pregnant. They want to see that she's fertile.
Is she a guinea pig?
It's true. Some families are like that.
You run from those kind of families.
Some they will just say no. They need to know that because they don't want anyone any son that any child they will bring to this family that will now be looking for children and all of that.
You see, so what if she tried to conceive and it didn't happen? Sometimes some issues with conception is not even the lady.
Yeah.
That's the truth. So don't let anybody use you as a guinea pig.
Yes, and confuse you, saying that
you have to know your worth as a person.
Yeah, know
your worth as a person. So if you know your worth as a person, know the value. If you're a person of value, people should not toss you around. Don't allow people to toss you around. Don't allow that kind of family. They will be manipulative.
Yes.
That attitude you just saw is a reflection of many more things.
To face.
When that thing
run.
Run, no. You know, you hear it.
Yes,
on Instagram, all those are skits. Run, no.
Run.
That's it. So run, no. When you see that kind of family. And then, when you have a guy who submits to that kind of decision from his family, it's a red flag.
He's not the right person for you.
It's a red flag. It's a red flag because you are not a guinea pig. What if it's the guy? Yes. Guinea pig is what you use in the laboratory now. You use in lab to run tests. You don't. So how many people do you want to then sleep with? What if the belly does not come? You don't get pregnant.
And you slept with
marry the person.
I didn't know families that
Yeah.
get married and 5 years they are still waiting.
And
They're
God
trusting
still
God.
gives them
Yes,
what they
and
want.
after 10 years, the baby comes.
Yeah.
You know? So you say you don't. Are you God? Can you produce a child?
No.
So why do we have to make people go through that kind of... So please, if you find yourself in that situation, run. That's it.
Run.
Don't even need to go to counseling. If you want to go to counseling, it's okay, but...
It's not necessary.
Just run.
Okay. So I guess we have to kind of round it up now.
Okay.
So just to finish up, I want to say that what take home do you have for our viewers, like points that they need to have as a guide in keeping this standard of being sexually pure, in maintaining this standard of being sexually pure? It's not easy. In fact, when we're growing up, it's almost as if when our parents used to say, the moment you start a menstruation, if a man touches you like this, you are pregnant, you run.
All those measures
Then it looked as if it was going to be an impossible feat to say you keep yourself till marriage.
Yeah.
But then look at us today. God help us to be able to, but now it's a much more different terrain.
It's just a regular thing. It's just so casual.
The same knowledge that kept us still applies. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Number one, to understand that God is not trying to take fun away from you. He's not trying. Some people think, if you cannot have sex, you're not having enough fun. No, that's not it. Being a child of God is a positive, is beneficial in different ways. Okay? Understand that God is not trying to take fun away from you. He knows what's best for you. Okay? And some of us that have passed through that journey can't testify. The truth is, when people get married sometimes, what are the things that cause that make people to have, so some people get married and expectations are not met.
Yeah.
Why? A lot of exposure in the past. They've slept with 1, 2, 3, 4. They know how Shade used to do it. They know how Emeka's skinny con was like this. Amaka's boobs was this size. So they get married. The mind is busy with many of those experiences. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's now hard to stick with the one person you have now chosen to marry. Why? Because your mind is filled with so much that you have gathered from the past. So as a young person, understand that. So when you say purity, God really desires that purity. Okay? That innocence. You understand? That innocence. Imagine two people coming into marriage. They don't know much. Okay? Possibly all they know is what they've read, what they've, tried to gather from here and there. And then they can grow together. That's the design. That's the design. So God is not trying to, God is obviously trying to protect us from harm. He's trying to protect us from harm. So what do? Set your boundaries. But first of all, decision. Make that decision. Decide that this is what you want to do
and stick to it.
If you want, sometimes it's not easy to stick to it.
It's not,
yes,
sure.
Sometimes it's not easy. So your association will determine whether you will be able to stick to it.
Yeah.
Okay, what you are feeding your mind. Okay, now you can Netflix and chill. Okay, and watch any
movie.
Do you see? So sometimes you have to control your mind and decide that, okay, even if I want to watch this particular movie, I'm not going to watch it alone. Maybe a few friends that are around and all that. Okay, so that your mind does not work too hard.
With the right mind.
Yes,
right mind.
So avoid certain movies, avoid certain books. This is very important. Why? Because at the beginning we talked about the mind. The mind is the battleground. That's where everything happens before it happens physically. Okay, so the Bible says we die daily.
Yes.
When I was thinking, I used to tell my sister, you will die daily. It was, yes.
Flesh must die
because
daily.
I had very strong sexual urge as a young lady. That's the truth. I had very strong, and you have to know yourself. This is important. Know yourself. Know the things that tickle you. The things that get you in the mood. If you understand that, sometimes it's the fact that you're alone. You could even be alone by yourself, but your mind is working.
Yes.
Sometimes it could be that, you and your partner are hanging out alone at home. And then before you know, one thing is leading to another. So what do you do in such situation? You try to avoid scenarios where you to be just both of you. Exactly. You try to avoid such scenarios. Go out more often. Hang out with friends more often. Some people say, we're dating, but we'll go on vacation together. Please, what are we going to do in that vacation?
Are you going to just be swimming?
So say we can keep us. We can do well. God help you. I don't know how they. I don't know how you go on vacation alone. So I just think that let's encourage everyone. And parents, start it early. Yeah. If a parent is watching, start it early. Have that conversation. Maybe one of the things that helped me, I had a lot of elder sisters who their heads were very strict. Do you understand? Their heads were very strict. Most of my sisters were, in fact, all my sisters, born again.
So they set an example.
So there was
an example.
Exactly. There were
shining
people
the light.
Exactly. People I was seeing. And we knew that there were some things that was not, acceptable in this family. Do you understand? So parenting too.
Important.
Yes, it's important. Then let's not be shy to have these conversations. There's what we call sex education.
Yes.
For every stage, every stage of our children's growth. Okay, have those conversations as early as possible. Then be in their world.
Yeah.
Okay, be in the world.
Attention
Even if you're single and you're watching, okay, you can make an impact. Be in the world of the teenagers around you. Be in the world of the young people around you. Have those conversations from time to time. That's why my nieces and my nephews, they enjoy hanging out with me because I don't hide any of these things. We will talk about it. We will make it open. They will even tease them. Say, that's how Kolade said kiriko. very important. Let's have these conversations as often as possible.
Wow. So she has said it all.
Yeah.
You have heard it all. So to our single people, sisters and brothers, being sexually pure is the real way to go.
Yes, and if you cannot keep it, just like Bible says, 1 Corinthians 7, okay, if you are burning, the fire inside you can bring down a skyscraper. Yeah, you don't know, the fire is on people.
Transfer the fire.
Yeah. The burning, that's why some people tell you that, on the night of our wedding, my wife was menstruating. I did not mind though.
We entered.
Do you understand? We will do this thing. We have been keeping waiting. And that's the excitement that comes with keeping yourself.
Yeah.
You are looking forward to your wedding night.
Yeah.
You're looking forward to something. You want to explore. It's like unwrapping a gift. The pleasure you desire from unwrapping a gift. Yeah. Amazing.
So
Amazing.
You've heard it
So
all.
look forward to it. Plan to get married.
Yes.
People who are eating this thing, many times you see some people, they don't want to marry. Why? If Konji hold you very well, if Konji hold you, you will know that, let me go and marry. But if Konji is holding you, but you are still having
all over the place,
you will see, they will not marry.
So please stay away from sex before marriage.
It's the best.
It's the best. It saves you from all sorts of stress.
Honestly.
Health, medically, physically,
spiritually.
even emotionally. You will not be
Tolu,
dwelling
I didn't know
on
so much about contraceptives before I got married. But there are some single people, they know
it all.
Rishi contraceptive. Do you understand?
I think I got to know it after my second. I didn't even pay it.
So there are things that you will not even bother yourself with. You can grow. You can grow in your emotions. You can grow in your, career. Why? Because you're putting more energy in all of those things.
Important things.
All right. So if I say something again now, something will come out again.
So let's end it there.
But our time is fast spent.
So we need to do for married.
Yes. My husband and I talked about it
this
morning.
We need to do for marriage.
Because we can't blend both together.
Yes.
But we'll work towards that.
Yes.
We'll work towards that.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Ma,
Thank
for
you.
coming on this show with
my
us.
Pleasure.
We have learnt a lot. I'm speaking on behalf of the singles
Yes, we
that
have.
I know or that are watching this. And on behalf of my dear Christabel here.
We've learned a lot.
So thank you so much for watching. And
Thank
of course, as usual, we look forward to having you join us again.
Yeah.
And
Another
help us say
episode.
thank you to
Thank you.
Ibitee.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Christabel.
Thank you. And also, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at PromoteGospelTV. Yeah. And on YouTube, please follow us.
Yes.
Click on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we post our videos.
Yes.
And for the podcast.
It's just on Audio Mark now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On Audio Max, which is easily accessible on your phone.
Yes,
so
easily accessible.
please listen, like, and share.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so it's the gospel truth. I want you to join us, shaking tables using the scriptures.
Okay.
All right. So it's the gospel truth.
Shaking tables
using the scriptures.
Thank you so much. Bye.